In the car to my runner gets you speedy. Still thugging like the days when they weren't here in my city. Made it out of the trenches. Just salute when you see me. Yeah, salute when you see me. I'm getting greedy. I blowed her budget on me. That's on me. I'm conceited. Treaty. Nah, that ain't how we treat it. This right here sound like a three-peat. I put the in it sound like I'm knee deep. I'm like, oh, that you need it. Me and HB going Juvie and BG. They gotta put my face on no box of Wheaties. I'm praying for who.
Renamed in late 2020, there's a look at Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They go play action with Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now it's Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Charles, Thursday night game. I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 33. He hits his target, Lockett, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now Stafford. And right away, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And 1st and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines, he didn't knock the...
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown.
Dwayne Eskridge,
his 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
The extra point now coming from Myers. 2nd and 10 now. 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 2nd and 10 And it's good to make it 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded right at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Akers has got the first down and then some.
And all the way up to the 46.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Woods.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
So defensively here, you've got Matt Stafford at quarterback. Now, we know he's been in the league a long time, but still getting accustomed to playing in a Rams uniform. So what's your biggest key to stopping it?
Well, normally you would say with any quarterback, it's pressure. Number of hits on him in the pocket, keep knocking him to the ground. But Matthew Stafford is one of the toughest quarterbacks in the league. He just keeps picking himself up and firing downfield. To me, it's that coverage of receivers, and when they go to make a catch, make sure you have someone there trying to make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
They'll toss this right side to Cam Akers.
And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, L.A. Odell Beckham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams are able to get back within a touchdown. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Esker's going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Catch is made by Metcalf. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big connection on that one, 35 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Wilson steps away to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. And Myers able to knock it through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack. They're staring up at a 3rd and long. And a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Play action. It's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Here's Wilson. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, you normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger Russ.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's third down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to come from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack, and they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Johnny Hacker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2nd and 7.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Rolling to his right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 3rd down. They run the counter. Carson trucks over him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Most of the damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On 1st down, Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And that's going to be caught. Dwayne Eskridge.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
Dwayne Eskridge
with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Seahawks are able to widen their lead here in this 1st half.
Now Myers for the extra point. PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play.
So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
It's taken in at the goal line. And he's going to be taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Stafford going to give this to Akers.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line.
Off the fake to Akers, here's Stafford.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Stafford will stay out there. He'll lead his guys up to go for it on fourth down. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
Flush to his right. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off inside the 10.
And they will get the first down here as they move into field goal range as well, inside the 25. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it. And he will be able to recover this himself to prevent a wacky ending here, but that will be how this first half comes to an end. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by DJ Reed. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead will swell by one more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Taken at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. Escapes the defender. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Dumps that off to Penny as running back. That catch good for only a couple.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll try the left side. It's Carson. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Myers' kick is good. They're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great, too.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Going to run the sweep here. This is Cobb. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And he can't get rid of it.
He's taken down.
Bobby Wagner, multiple times an All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss. Well, remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Oh, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel. Okay, so when he wants to show it off later on, look what I did out there, guys. In this offense, they've got to start paying him a little special attention. He's like a good basketball player, putting stats in every column.
A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return.
And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A gain of 3, second down.
Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there. They go back to Carson here on second.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On third down, Penny. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a fourth down. Now here's Michael Dixon. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys and trying to wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
From his own goal line, Stafford. Al Woods able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. They run again with Carson. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
36 yards on the punt with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. On first down, it's Stafford. Forced out to his left. On Stafford for the third time is intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Seahawks are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
CD, this defense, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Going right back to Akers.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Here's Johnny Hekker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Pulled in at the 24.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here with Penny. And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Again, it's Penny, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this